Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. I hope that you're having a fantastic time. We are at 45 minutes past 8 a.m. and we are doing amazing. We are wrapping up the second hour, and like I told you, I have in studio one of my favorite people because of the work that she does. I just like Fatma's passion on health. Like this is not work, this is lifestyle. Passion, so this is passion. This is every day. This is the air that we breathe. Yeah. So I like to have conversations with Fatma. Karibu sana. Hi.
Thank you. Is it too late to say Happy New Year?
No, it's not.
Yeah, it's never
If
too
I have
late.
not seen you here, Happy New Year.
We have to say
exactly.
Happy New Year to you. I'm happy to see you.
I'm happy to see you too.
Oh, thank
How
you.
is your 2024?
It's really good, and also I've been very intentional about how I spend my time, what I'm doing with everything, like even just helping people. I said this time I have to do it even more. I want to see more impact, and by the grace of God, it's going to happen.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So the fact that you've made time for me and time for Art and Culture Monday makes me feel very special.
I'm happy, and I'm always happy to be with you.
Yeah.
Last time I enjoyed our interview so much, so I was looking forward to this.
I am glad you did, because so did I. I want you to say hi to people at home. Tumeanza ni kama, we've been here 3 hours.
Hi to everyone. I'm Fatma from Wellness KE, and today I just want to make sure that you learn healthy ways to gain weight so that you're not eating fries, suji mandazi and chapati and ruining your health. You can learn just a healthy way to do it.
Exactly. Yeah. So like I was telling you right before we started, you are a brilliant mind.
Oh, thank you.
Yes, because all the conversations that we have around weight gain and weight loss and weight in general is mostly weight loss.
I know.
Yeah,
because
it's how
we assume everybody is trying to lose weight.
Is trying to lose weight. Like I told you guys, this is a conversation you do not want to miss. And this is the perfect place because, like Fatma is going to mention, tumesema tu sahizi, there's a lot of stigma around weight gain. Yeah. But you are on TV, so you can literally just watch the conversation. You're going to get all the nuggets you want. We are streaming live on YouTube right now. If you could drop your comment in there. If you are there 10%, Fatma is going to tell us the statistics. But if you're the one that we are looking for, you who is looking to actually gain weight the healthy way, you are welcome. This is the conversation for you. But before we do that, I want you to tell me about the wellness organization that you run, so that we're not jumping ahead of ourselves.
Okay, well, Wellness KE as a platform focuses on natural ways and holistic ways to be able to improve reproductive health. And we focus mainly on reproductive health, women's reproductive health, because we've seen that there's just a big gap. There's a lot of misinformation about women, learning about their menses, fertility, infertility, fibroids, PCOS and all that, and even hormonal weight loss and hormonal weight gain. Because those are things that affect so many women. But of course this information is also open and informative to everyone else, not just women, so that they can learn ways, even children, so that they can learn healthy ways to just be able to gain weight.
Exactly. And if anything, this is a men and women conversation, because if you are discussing with your wife the healthy way to lose weight or to gain weight, it becomes even easier. Of course. Have you tried to lose weight or even gain weight in a house where everyone is doing the opposite?
I know, it's so very hard. It's very hard.
Now everyone is taking out fries and burgers, and then you are there. They want to lose spinach and broccoli.
Yes, they're looking at you like, why do you live a sad life?
Exactly.
Why?
Why are you living a sad life?
You're so right. And actually that's one of the biggest issues that we have just as a society, whereby you might be on a personal journey. When you think about weight, it's a personal thing. Exactly. So you might just wake up and think, I really feel like I need to put on weight. Now maybe your sister or your partner is looking at you like, I've been trying to lose this weight, and here you are just walking around making me feel bad about the weight I cannot lose for years.
Exactly.
But you have every right, because as we are going to get into it, it's important to maintain a healthy weight, the weight that is healthy for you, so that you're living a healthy life. So if it means you have to put on weight, then you have to put on weight.
Exactly. So you are well within your rights. We want to just let you know that it is not a crime. You're well within your rights.
That's true.
Yes, there's no stigma around it. If you actually want to gain some weight, you are well within your rights. Because I think the people that want to lose weight are very loud about it.
Because it's louder than the weight gain, right?
So if you want to to gain weight, we are here to give you some voice. Yes, we are here to to tell you that it is actually okay.
Kabisa.
So one, I want to see where to start this conversation. One, like with weight gain, you remember we went through some of the reasons why someone might gain weight.
Yes.
So what are some of the reasons that someone might lose weight? Let's start from there.
Well, there are many reasons why a person might lose weight.
Yeah.
And the first one is usually mental.
Yeah.
So you find that stress is a big factor. But in order for us to understand stress, we need to understand it's what type of stress.
Exactly.
So our bodies normally respond to stress in a very similar way. For instance, if you were being chased by a wild animal, and if you went through traffic and you sat through traffic and you were stressed, your body will still identify that as stress. So it doesn't necessarily filter and say this is different type and this is different type. Now, if it is long term, whereby you have been going through something for many years, maybe you're working at a certain job, it's very stressful, you've been doing it for about 10 years, that is more chronic long-term stress, that leads to weight gain. But then if it is short spurts of stress, whereby maybe you're going through traffic, or you have a deadline, or you have what, such type of stress will actually lead to weight loss. And that's because it affects your gut mainly, because stress hormones, when they are released, they are supposed to help you. Your body is naturally trying to make sure that whatever stress has come, it can actually filter it and take care of it so that it doesn't affect you. So in the process, your adrenal glands are going to release some stress hormones, which go into your bloodstream. And then when you have too much of these stress hormones, unfortunately, that now makes it very difficult for you to put on weight, because when you're eating food, you find you're not able to even absorb the nutrients from the food. All this is happening in your gut, because the gut is where now you're going to be absorbing all the nutrients from anything that you eat, right? So you find that these stress hormones go in, and then they don't make it possible for your gut to absorb nutrients from food. And so because of that, you struggle with malnutrition. It's poor nutrition. You're eating, but you're not necessarily getting the nutrients from the food. So then it will lead to weight loss. But another really big one is also eating disorders. You find that maybe someone used to have, maybe they were at a certain weight, they were much heavier, then they managed to lose the weight. But now they're scared. They don't necessarily want to go back to where they were. And so they've developed this habit whereby mentally they just do not want to eat, so that they're not going to put on the weight.
The weight that they actually lost.
And so because of that, they develop a disorder, because this is a habit that someone keeps. Maybe it's time to eat, they don't necessarily want to eat with everybody, because they know if they serve food, it's going to be little amount of food, people are going to judge them, and so forth. And also other disorders like anorexia and bulimia. And there's some people who, when they eat, they're actually going to go and throw up and just remove all the food that they've eaten, so that they don't end up gaining weight. So an eating disorder is very common among many women, especially younger women, because of course of the aesthetic, which is very important. Like most people are really judging women based on how they look.
They appear.
Are you too heavy? They're going to judge. Are you too thin? They're going to judge. So either way, even when you're at a healthy weight, they'll still find something to judge, which is a message for everyone. Like whatever you do, just make sure you do what is right for your health, so that you're not necessarily living a life whereby you're trying to please everybody else. If you're worried about your size, these are some things that you need to consider. And also just illnesses. There's actually an illness known as hyperthyroidism. So your thyroid is basically a gland that is located at the lower part of your neck. So if you were to sip water and you swallow, the part that's going to bulge, that's where your thyroid is. And so there's a condition called hyperthyroidism, which is common among women, whereby your thyroid is just overworking. So the function of your thyroid is to control your body temperature, your metabolism. Like if you were to eat food, the energy, how is it going to be expended into? Like how are you going to use up your energy? Will you use it up very fast or very slow? So in hyperthyroidism, it just means that your thyroid is working very, very fast. So some of the symptoms you find, someone is very, very slim, they have a very big appetite, they eat a lot, but they're not putting on any weight. And majority of the times their skin is very dull, it's not glowy or radiant, because they don't get any nutrients from the food they eat. And also the eyes are always bulging, like out of their socket. So if you look at someone physically, you'll notice that. And then putting on weight is very hard. And then for women, it normally goes further and affects them with their menses, with their period. So you find they have heavy period or irregular period, and then they might struggle also with issues like fertility. But then the weight loss is just the biggest factor, because when you look at them, they're more irritated, anxious, shaky, sweating a lot, burning a lot. Even just while they've eaten food, if you eat food and they eat food, they burn it very fast, they get hungry very fast, they eat a larger appetite, they have a larger appetite. But then because the thyroid is overworking, it makes them lose a lot more weight.
Yeah.
And of course, if your lifestyle is also poor, for instance, if you're drinking a lot of alcohol, it goes and messes up with your gut, because now your gut is where, as we said, your nutrients are absorbed from the food. So if you're drinking a lot of alcohol, you're using hard illicit drugs, these are all factors that can lead to you actually losing a lot of weight. And some medication also affect that. So in case maybe, let's say, you're going through some type of illness, make sure you ask your doctor about that. Ask them, you know, is this medication going to cause any kind of physical changes in my body? Because there's some medication that can lead to also to such to unintentional weight loss.
Exactly. The thing I love about having conversations with you is the way you break things down. It doesn't feel like I'm talking to a doctor who's using all these jargons that I'm trying to understand. So I hope that you guys at home are picking a thing or two, because one, I can tell you like 4 misconceptions I have picked from just that conversations we have had. Number one is the way people say, me when I'm stressed I gain weight, me when I'm stressed I lose weight. So you're wondering how, why is it that me when I'm stressed I gain weight,
and then
but you when you're stressed you lose weight? But now we know that weight gain is more caused by chronic stress over a long period of time. But if it's segments of stress
throughout your day,
throughout your day, that might cause you to lose weight. So now at least we know that.
Thank you.
Exactly.
I'm happy to
Number
hear
two,
that.
another misconception I have heard is that thinking slim is healthy. Yes,
that's a big one. Everyone sees you when you've lost weight, they're like, oh, because they think you are healthy, but it doesn't necessarily mean that.
Exactly. So that is another misconception that we are here to disseminate. Also, another third one is that where you find someone is suffering from, you've called it hyperthyroidism, and you wonder, we are eating the same amounts of food, or even you're eating more food than I, but somehow you don't seem like you're gaining any weight.
And even an important thing to mention is, if you notice that, you know, the true definition of the unintentional weight loss is just the fact that you are not trying to lose weight, but but you keep losing the weight.
Exactly.
So you're not on a weight loss diet, you're not working out, you're not doing anything to lose the weight. And if you lose about 5 kgs within a couple of months, like about 5 to 6 months, that already should tell you there is something going on. You know, and one of the early signs of a condition like cancer or diabetes is usually the sudden weight loss, and it is usually drastic, but it is unintentional, meaning you did not do anything, but then you drop the weight, and someone can visibly see that you've lost the weight.
So if you are intentionally working on your diet, therefore you are losing weight, can be attributed to something that you are actually doing. But if you're not doing anything about it,
that's when it would be important for you now to go into the hospital, especially if you've lost like about 5 kilos or more, and it's in a span of about 6 months, for instance, and you have done nothing to lead to this weight loss. That would mean that there's something inside your body that is causing the weight loss. Could be your thyroid, as we've mentioned. It could be an early sign of an illness, could be an infection, and so forth.
Exactly. So that is what you would describe as drastic weight loss. If you're not trying to do anything about it, and then of course it's a noticeable amount. I think that is why, you know, if you've not seen someone in 3-4 months, then you see them and you can tell they have lost quite some weight, then you may be able to seek medical attention. There's also another group of people that have they didn't it's not weight that they had that they lost, but they have always been smaller.
And you find that maybe for this type of person, it could be that they already have an underlying condition that they don't know about, because you know, most people, especially in our culture, people don't necessarily go back to the hospital, run tests to know what's going on with them. We actually are in a culture of people just get used to the problems they have. They're like, me nakuga TV, I normally don't gain any weight, and I'm usually like that, and people get used to that. But then the truth is, if you were to go into the hospital and explain this situation, they're going to try and check whether this weight is healthy for you. It's important for everyone to know what weight is healthy for them. And this is what is known as the body mass index. So basically, if you are, maybe let's say your name is Jane and you are 35 years old, you are 80 kgs and you are 5'5". We have to determine, is 5'5" enough for 80 kgs, or is 80 kgs? So because that will help you determine whether you are at a healthy weight. So even for the people who are trying to gain weight, maybe you already are at a healthy weight and you don't need to gain the weight. So the first thing for you to do would be to check your body mass index, and it's very simple. If you take your phone, you can actually type on Google body mass index calculator, and when you type that, it's going to ask you for details. So it will ask you for your age, it will also ask you for your gender. So we'll put in maybe Jen, she's 35 years old, she's 80 kgs, her height is 5'5". You put it in centimeters, you can just calculate that, and then you press calculate. It's very simple. And when you calculate, it will tell you, are you underweight, are you overweight, or are you at a healthy weight? And if you are underweight in this particular conversation, you would it will actually indicate how many kilos do you have to gain in order for you to get to a healthy weight. You might really want to gain weight for the sake of aesthetics. We know for women, sometimes just women want to be curvy, they want to have a nice body, but it might not be the size that is for you because of your height and your weight. So for everyone out there, we need to be very keen on our body mass index. That's what's going to be indicative of whether we need to put on the weight and how many kilos we need to put on.
And this is easy. Like, in fact, you can do it from the comfort of your home, your phone. Just a BMI calculator, and then put in your details, I believe. And then also, can we normalize knowing these details? Do you know for how long I went to learning how tall I am?
I know.
You know,
just trying to know how tall you are.
Just trying to know how tall I am.
I know what you mean. I know what you mean.
And I got it measured a few times, and then I keep forgetting. Oh, maybe I'm 5'2". That one I know. I'm 5'2".
I get you.
But I kept forgetting, honestly. And then there is all this convert your feet into centimeters. Now I get lost even more. I don't know if it's 139
you
or
just
140.
Google your way through it.
Exactly.
You just put what.
So I learned, and now I know, at least I know this is how tall I am.
There you go.
So like just small details like those. Know how tall you are, know how much you weigh, especially if your weight doesn't move a lot much, because surely unless you're trying to lose weight or intentionally gain weight usually doesn't fluctuate very much. You're within the same kilos. If something changes, now you know something has changed. But let's normalize knowing these details about ourselves. Do you know when I was doing my passport application, they asked, what is the color of your eyes?
You're like,
and I'm like, I know most of us are brown, but really like that know. It's not information at my fingertips. I'm almost like, okay, what color are my eyes again?
You're trying to look for it, but it's because we don't necessarily prioritize such things.
And
we don't.
When you think about it, I've had my eyes my whole life.
But you just don't know
things about your body that you need to know.
You made a very good point.
Exactly. So I think basics. These are things we ought to know. How much do you weigh? What is your height? What are your, what is your type of teeth? Like, just know these small details about yourself so that you can, you can even be able to keep track. Because
if something changes.
Some of us are overweight, but you don't even know it. Some of us are underweight, but you do not know it. So the first point of contact is know. Now, when you know, then you will know what to do about it.
Perfect. Actually, that is the whole goal. The entire goal of Wellness KE is that, like, I want people to know. Because I can come here and tell you this causes inflammation. You have no idea what inflammation is. I want for you to understand what that does to your body and how that can lead to disease. Because as they say, when you know, you know. You decide, like, let me make a decision now.
Now you know.
That's very
now
true.
we're not telling you to put on weight because you don't even know whether you need to put on weight. So knowledge is power, and Wellness KE does that for you in a simplified manner. Like it almost feels like you're the layman's doctor. I'll break down. Don't worry. Don't worry about those jargons. Let me break it down. Let me break down what this means for you. So let's talk about body image and its impacts on women. I know we have touched a bit on it, but demystify it for us.
Unfortunately, I feel like society just really feels like they have the right to tell women, we both did that side because we know. Society really feels like they have the right to tell you as a woman what you should look like. You should gain weight, you should lose weight. If you lose weight, you've lost too much. Where are your curves? You're black, you're an African woman. Look like one. If you now gain the weight, because of course the weight is not just going to come to your hips and thighs and whatnot. It'll also come on your tummy, your arms. Now that is a problem. You are lazy, you should work out, wake up in the morning, do this. Even women who are from having children are judged after passing humans. people still expect them to drop the weight instantly.
Yeah.
But the truth is, I feel like just for that reason, as women, we need to actually take control of how our bodies are. It should never be about aesthetic, because aesthetic, it comes and goes.
Yeah.
I believe bodies should not be a trend. Just a body type should not be a trend, because can you imagine you have a trend whereby curvy women are in trend at the moment, on trend, and then now all of a sudden it's skinny women. So now what happens to you? You know, you have to go and lose all your carbs, and it's not healthy for you. But my advice is to both men and women, we should lead with health. Lead with health, and how healthy are you for, you know, your weight, your height, everything. And if you are healthy, then you will look healthy, you will look right. So it shouldn't be about trends, it shouldn't be about what people think and what they expect. It should really be about how you feel. Because if your body feels too heavy for you, but people feel like you look really good when you are heavy, you really need to have a conversation with yourself and say, I want to be healthy and live a good, healthy life. So if you need to lose the weight, lose the weight. But if you need to gain weight, it should also be that it is something that suits you and is right for you. And also, we are trying as hard as we can as women. We're trying to have even more conversations on health and wellness, so that all of us can see just collectively how we need to do it the right way, as opposed to listening to what we have been told all the time. Standards have been put and set for women. I don't know why, but we have to just go and do what is right for us and for our health. Life becomes a lot easier, and also you live a better quality life because you are in good health.
I think, just to echo, lead with health. And because most probably, if you actually do lead with health, the aesthetics will come.
Of course.
Yes, because I feel like aesthetics is the result.
It is the result of you living a healthy life.
So most times than not, when you lead with health, you're gonna land at aesthetics anyway. And if especially on matters losing weight and gaining weight, those are very sensitive personal issues, so they should not be led by people's comments on X and on Facebook.
Tomorrow they can wake up and be like, we don't like this body of yours.
And then it's called a trend, which means that it will end.
Of course, at some point it a change, and then now you have to deal with the new trend and change yourself.
And change the old trend that you were actually on for. That is a lot of work. That is a lot of work. But today, we are here to talk about weight gain. We really want to give quality time because we have not had this conversation. So, if you realize, whether it is from since you were young, probably you are suffering from some of these diseases that you do not know about, or it was drastic weight loss. How do you put on weight? What are some of the ways that you can put on weight the healthy way? Because what we have had, news za streets is eat, kula, and then they eat, and then the weight doesn't come, or even the weight comes, but now it's unhealthy weight. So how do you gain weight the healthy way?
The healthy way. Okay, so number one, I want for everyone to understand, whenever we eat food is normally broken down into sugars, and then so it is in your bloodstream, but then insulin is usually released by your pancreas, so that you don't end up having high levels of blood sugar, because that's dangerous for you. You could end up having diabetes and other conditions. So when insulin is released, its purpose is to make sure that this food you've eaten that's broken down into sugars is going to be stored and used up correctly. So you're going to use it for energy, maybe for your heart to pump, blood to circulate, and all that. Now, the danger comes in when we eat large portions of food, or when we eat unhealthy food, because it leads to the release of insulin, and it also spikes our blood sugar and puts us at risk of so many illnesses. So you'll find when someone is trying to gain weight, what they're going to do is they think they need to just eat large portions of food in one sitting, like I'm just going to eat a lot of food. But we don't want to do that, because we want to gain the weight in a healthy way, so that we can avoid insulin resistance and high blood sugar levels. So the type of food matters first and foremost. So we're not going to eat, my fries and greasy foods and all that, so that we can gain the weight. We actually want nutrient-dense foods. So it is healthy natural food, but packed with more nutrients and calories. So high calorie foods are examples. If you're going to add some protein into your meal, so let's say it is a breakfast, right? So instead of you doing maybe mandazi, 10 mandazis and a cup of tea.
Yeah.
It will be healthier for you to have a meal in itself, because it will be packed with more calories and nutrients, right? So let's say, for instance, you're going to have something like ngwashe in the morning. And then when you have ngwashe, you can have it with a protein of choice. So it could be some boiled eggs, or it could be some chicken, some stew. You're actually going to serve yourself some, like it's a meal, some greens or vegetables there. And then you'll have your cup of tea. So once you're done having this meal, let's say for breakfast, when you count the calories in this meal, the calories will actually be high calories, more. And if you were to eat, let's say for instance, you're eating mandazi, chapati, whatever, the calories are high, but the only problem is these calories are the type of calories that could lead to illness. So you don't want that. You want the nutrient-dense foods that are natural, still put on the weight, but then you put it on in a natural way.
In a natural and healthy
way. So let's say you're done with your breakfast, right? So the goal is for you also not to spike your blood sugar and insulin all the time, because if you keep eating all the time, you will spike your blood sugar and insulin will keep on being released, and this puts you at risk of illnesses, right? So how long should you wait before you have your next meal? What you can do, actually you can space out your meals. So let's say you can have five meals in a day, sawa. But as you have the 5 meals in a day, you can space them out in such a way that after you've had your first meal, give yourself about 2 to 3 hours. Because that brings your blood sugar back to normal. You're not staying at a state of high blood sugar, and you're also not releasing insulin all the time. That puts you at risk. So let's say after a couple of hours, you can have a snack. Let's say after breakfast, the breakfast was mentioned, you can have a snack. Your snack can also be packed with calories and nutrients. So for instance, you know, like this is a smoothie that is healthy. But there are some smoothies that can help you gain weight. So a smoothie that can help you gain weight will have maybe, let's say, full fat yogurt, full fat milk, some bananas, some avocado, some peanut butter inside there. All these help you gain weight very fast. But this is interesting. You actually will notice that a person who's trying to gain weight, what they need to do is to make sure that every time that they eat their food is loaded with calories, but in a healthy way. So there are natural foods that are loaded with calories. Protein, like, you know, chicken, eggs, butters also, like peanut butter, the natural kind, the peanut butters and sesame butter and all that, and also full fat dairy, like milk and yogurt and all that. All these are very rich in calories, and also carbohydrates that are healthy for you, like sweet potatoes are healthy for you, matoke and all that. So in the morning, once you've had your meal, space it out and have your next meal in the next 2 to 3 hours. And when it's time for you to have your next meal, maybe that's going to be like your snack before you have your lunch. And at snack time, you can have maybe, let's say, a very nutrient dense smoothie. Maybe you can have yogurt. You can blend it with some peanut butter. You can have some bananas in there and avocado and have that. And then you wait another 2 to 3 hours. It'll already be lunchtime. And when it's time for you to have lunch, also have a meal that is also nutrient dense. So the goal is to eat nutrient dense foods that are high in calories, but then give yourself some space. You'll do that all throughout so that you don't spike your blood sugar. Also, another thing is to avoid unhealthy foods, because the unhealthy foods go and disrupt how well you're going to absorb nutrients from the food you're eating. So if you eat unhealthy foods, then you're going to be disrupting that process of you obtaining the nutrients, because it's the nutrients that will allow you to gain the weight. So make sure that you stay away from high sugar foods, like things like sodas and cakes and mandazis and all that. They're not going to help you. If anything, they will actually disrupt how well you can be absorbing nutrients from other foods. And then also, apart from that, you have to try as hard as you can to make sure that even as you're eating, be mindful of even your environment and how you eat. What I mean by that is, you know, most people have a habit of when they're eating, they're probably eating while watching TV or doing something. So you're actually multitasking. Your brain doesn't understand that this is you watching TV as you eat. So your brain is naturally going to try and multitask. It's going to try and use energy so that you can do that one thing, and then use energy so that you can chew and eat your food. And then that puts you also in a state of stress, really, because I noticed this in myself. And that's why you find people can be bloated all the time when they're eating, and they're not gaining the weight. They're just bloated. The stomach is really swollen. So you find that they are very disrupted when they're eating. So if it's possible for you, while you're eating, you don't have to be doing something else. Just sit down, eat your food as if you are trying to gain weight, because it is like work for you. Because when you think about it, someone who is not able to gain weight easily burns the food very fast.
So if you add another task, to your metabolism that is already burning, so it's going to be burning
very fast,
burning calories very faster.
And so you're going to be losing so much more, even as you're just seated. You know, there's something called the basal metabolic rate. It's the rate at which your body can be able to burn just by sitting, you existing. So you pumping blood, you walking, you won't just be existing. What is your basal metabolic rate? Most people who cannot put on enough weight, they have a very high basal metabolic rate. They just by them existing, they lose a lot of weight. So you try as hard as you can to do that in terms of your nutrition, and then also even with your fitness. It's important. Like, let's say for instance, you don't necessarily want to do things like long distance running, and because these are what are going to lead to weight loss or cardio. What you can do is, if you are to do cardio, keep it under 20 minutes. So let's say 10 to 15 minutes is already enough, because it's good for your heart health. You cannot stop doing cardio because you don't want to lose weight. You actually do it for the sake of your heart. But keep it to 10 minutes or 15. If you can take a walk, that's already enough. And then your type of exercises would be more strength training and lifting weights, because this is what builds muscle. Because when you lose weight, you're supposed to replace it with muscle. Because when you stand on your scale, you'll notice you've gained weight if you have more muscle. And that's what gives you the physique of someone who actually has built a bigger body, for instance. And it's more aesthetically, it is better than if you were to just eat unhealthy foods and gain the weight. Right?
Just gain the weight.
Exactly. So mostly it would be your weight training. That's going to help you. If you can go to the gym, that's okay. If not, you can try videos on YouTube. They're actually free, and they will help you and guide you. If you're in a position to do that, you'll notice that you're actually putting on some weight. And then avoiding too much cardio when you're working out. So in those two things, let's disseminate some misconceptions in there. So if you're trying to gain weight, it's not eat a lot. No. There's a formula to what you eat, and even when you eat. So it's not every time. It's not now every now and then your desk there's something that you're munching. No, because that puts you at risk, of course, of a lot. As I say, every time you eat, food is broken down, blood sugar spikes. You don't want to be in a state where your blood sugar keeps
always high
all the time. Because that leads to disease.
So there is that. And then of course this one I think that we know that there are very many functions to the gym. There are very many goals to going to the gym. So you can be losing weight, you can be building muscle, you can be trying to gain weight. So get the right workouts, the right type of workouts to achieve your right type of goal that you are looking into. And also, as Fatma has said, YouTube, free of charge. Because I think also we are trying to reduce the intensity of anything that you're doing. You want to do every workout, cardio, weightlifting to an almost a minimal, right? So that is very easy to do with YouTube videos. Because that means you don't need professional help as such. You just need your 10 minutes, 15 minutes in, and you're good to go for a day. And it's better for you aesthetically as well, because now you're not just putting on the weight. You're now putting on the weight in specific areas. So for men, maybe let's say they want to have shoulders, bigger arms, and what exercise is going to lead to that. For women, if you're trying to build a curvier body, whether it's your lower body, if you're trying to build hips, thighs, curvy, hourglass figure, you can still do that with weights actually. It's very easy. And what you do is, if you're the type of person who cannot put on weight easily, they call that an ectomorph. So ectomorphs are people who they burn very fast. They usually just
physically, if you look at them, they're very slim, and they don't put on the weight easily, even though they eat a lot. But there are specific types of exercises for ectomorphs, and there's specific diet for ectomorphs. So let's say, for instance, for me, I am an endomorph. So an endomorph is someone who puts on the weight very easily, and the body is just store fat easily. But an ectomorph is someone who burns very easily, and they actually lose the weight easily. My type of exercises are different from an ectomorph. Yes, and my type of diet is different from an ectomorph. Because yes, we can eat healthy food, but how long do I have to eat? If I'm trying to make sure that I'm at a calorie deficit, meaning I'm not gaining too much weight, what I need to do is I'll eat the same healthy foods, but I need to make sure that I can do things like intermittent fasting or healthy smoothies like these that help you also in your metabolism, for it to speed up and for you to stay healthy, right? And then if you are an ectomorph, even when you go on Google or when you go on YouTube, that's very easy for you. Just type in what exercises are best for ectomorphs. You will have so many. You can start doing them at home, and it's free of charge.
This is what I like about wellness, KU. Like the solutions are within reach. They are not far away. They are very practical. If you cannot get yourself into a gym membership, then there's an alternative, and you know exactly what you can be able to do. Wow, I like this. I hope that people who want to lose weight are listening in, so that, you know, some of these things they sound, as you are saying them, they sound very easy to do, very easy to incorporate into one's daily life and lifestyle and daily routine. So from wellness, let's start with statistics, because I was shocked, you know, when you sent in this conversation. I'm like, there are people.
There are so many.
Yes, it's not everyone that is looking to lose weight.
And also,
how are the statistics looking?
In a week, for me, I can say I can have about 5 to 9 people just asking me about this thing, and they always are trying to gain weight. They don't have appetite. They cannot put on the weight, and if they put it on, they cannot keep it. You know, they lose it very quickly. And then you'll notice that because of that, so in general, of course, more people are trying to lose weight, but a percentage of about 10-15% are trying to put on the weight. It's just that you've said their voice is not as loud as the voice of those who are trying to lose the weight. But it's so interesting when you think about the fact that there are men and women who are struggling with this, and they're trying their hardest to put on the weight, but there are not many people covering it, because we feel like when we post about weight loss, more people click on it, right? We get more response than when we talk about weight gain. But it's interesting that when I even posted that I'm coming here, the people who are reaching out to me in the DMs, I'm waiting for this conversation because I really want to learn. And it's interesting. It tells you that there was no information out there, and also nobody was trying to cover it, because again, there's that stigma of is this really a problem?
Yes, I mean, that's what we were talking about. Like, if you're in a room with 10 people. Yes, if you're trying to talk about how you're trying to gain weight,
everybody is looking at you.
Yes, everybody's like, almost like, get serious problems. Like,
get real.
But life. Exactly. But you see, it is as important as losing weight is to the other 9 people.
And what about self-esteem? You know, it's interesting, like for women especially, the self-esteem is so low. If it feels like everyone out there is curvy, they have put on weight. When they go on Instagram, they're just seeing all these curvy models, slim waists, flat tummy, big butt, big thighs, and then the men don't help, because these are the type of pictures that they are double tapping on, and everyone feels so bad. But the truth is, it is a reality. To be honest, it is a reality. So many people are struggling with it because it affects their self-esteem as well. They don't really feel feminine enough, and also some men just don't feel like, why I really want to put on the weight and build the muscle so that I can look a certain way. But it is important also to mention that you have to seek help in terms of your mental health. You have to seek help and speak to a professional if this is really affecting you and affecting your confidence. It's affecting how you live your life, or it's making you more depressed, more anxious, and you're not necessarily optimistic about life, mainly because of how you look. It should be important that you actually speak to a professional so that they can help, because that's more mental. Because if you don't solve that, your body is still going through stress, because you know, as we mentioned at the beginning, the stress is what's causing the weight loss.
The weight loss. So you need, all of us, you need your mental state needs to be in line with even where you want to go physically. And then when you sort out the mental, now it becomes, yes, I know I need to gain some weight, as opposed to, oh my God, why can't I gain weight?
Because when you're in that state, you will just keep losing the weight.
So you keep the chances are that you keep just like it is on the other end of the spectrum. If you're constantly worried about how much weight you want to lose, chances are you're not going to be losing the weight anyway.
You'll actually be putting on
even more weight. So we start from, like we said, we start with health. So that way we are health mentally, we know where we need to go. Then we get ourselves information from Wellness KE. So, and then put that information, because I feel like for someone who wants to gain weight and it's not on the extreme, really just following through this conversation,
you'll be fine. And you'll notice that people can actually change their life. In fact, during COVID, when I started all this, was when I noticed that when people take in information and they're serious, when they apply it, they actually get results, and they come back and tell you, I did this thing and I noticed results. So do not feel invalidated. Do not put your conversation out there, put your experience out there. Reach out to Wellness KE, like you have had. She personally answers to the DMs. I can tell you that for a fact. So Wellness KE can be able to walk with you, can be able, so for someone who is trying to gain weight, because now you're delving into this, what is Wellness KE bringing to the table? Like the package of, okay, you need to gain weight, but you need to gain weight the healthy way. So we actually have a 30-day plan, nutrition plan, to help everyone who is trying to put on weight, but it's actually going to incorporate some of the things we've talked about and even more. Because it needs to the aim is to help so that you can put on the weight, but in a healthy way, so that you're not ruining your health, you're not messing up your blood sugar levels, you're not building insulin resistance. And so it is very key. So our 30-day plan is actually a meal plan whereby you have exactly what you need to eat, from breakfast to lunch to snacks and everything. You also have a shopping guide to tell you, like, these are some of the things that you're going to need. And then also on our product list, we have the organic seeds that we have. There are videos, actually recipe videos we have on the Wellness KE channel to help you in preparing some of these things. For instance, if you want, you can add even more sesame seeds to your diet, sesame butter to your diet. There's a recipe there that shows you how to do that. If you want to add pumpkin seeds, we have pumpkin seeds, and you can actually have a recipe on how to make pumpkin butter. But it's very key for me to mention this. There are people who are trying to lose weight, and they can still be able to eat these organic seeds and lose weight. But now, as we've mentioned, it is how much of it are you eating, and the frequency. And when the frequency of when you are actually because eating. These nuts and seeds are very nutrient dense. They're packed with calories. But the thing is, how do you use them? For instance, if you want to lose weight, you can use them in a smoothie, and then you actually have a period where after eating, you have a couple of hours before you eat next. It would be longer than someone who's trying to put on weight. Right? So you are eating the seeds, and you're actually getting the nutritional benefits value that you need. It's just that now you're trying to balance your blood sugar, and you're also trying to lose weight for someone who's losing. If you're gaining, you can actually use these butters. The recipes are there. You can use them in your smoothie. You can use them, maybe let's say you've made oats, maybe you've made porridge, maybe you made what, you can add into that and eat, and then making sure that after every 2 to 3 hours you have something you're going to eat, and so forth. And it's a healthier alternative. If you're going to have, let's say, bread and some eggs, maybe it's healthy brown bread and some eggs and all that. The seed butters also help. You can put that on the bread as opposed to something unhealthy. So it is, what we have is the products, and we also have the 30-day plan. And we always offer information, because that's very key. You said information is power. To help everyone so that they know how they can try to start their journey. And also our YouTube videos are there to just explain everything step by step. Well, one thing I love about the Wellness KE plans is that
every ingredient is found here.
Yes,
because that is the problem I think I have seen with meal plans that you're downloading online and everything. Now you're telling me to get stuff that I
don't
no
even know.
idea. What is that?
I've never eaten.
Exactly, I have never eaten. But when I look at a meal plan made by Wellness KE, every product you can find it here locally. And if you can't find it, you can purchase it from Wellness KE. You know, like that accessibility to whatever is in the meal plan is very important.
And it makes it more practical and easy for you to do.
Exactly. Because surely if you are having a meal plan made by someone in the UK, truly, there is some ingredients in there that you're going to look for.
Kiwi, fruit, and
no, like,
what?
Kiwi, where
am I getting? And then also it can be very expensive.
Exactly.
Because you start now going to the mall to be able to buy at the supermarket, you're trying to buy your food from there.
Yes.
But for us, our plans, you actually don't have to do that.
Yes.
The local person near your home will provide you with everything that you need. We'll just show you how to use it.
And then also, Wellness KE being Kenyan is made for Kenyan women, African women, Kenyan, like the diet has put into consideration that you are African, that you are Kenyan, so that, you know, like, it feels like very locally made.
Yeah, and also I really believe something. I really believe that if you eat what is within you, you are actually going to gain the benefits of the food. Like you've said, it's mango season. Yes. You've been eating mangoes.
Oh yeah.
Yes, and enjoying them. And you'll find that it's the best way.
Yes.
If something is in season or if something is within you, that's what you need to eat more of.
Exactly.
Because that is how it is planned. It is meant to help your body in that way. So we consider that when we are doing the plan. And also every plan is customized. Yes. So let's say if it's for you, your plan is different from me. Yes. I have to consider everything that you need.
Exactly.
I have to consider your health history, your medical history and all that, so that I can make sure that you have the best thing that suits you, the best plan that suits you.
Exactly. Yeah. Wow. Another perfect question that we have received. Are these weight loss or even weight gain plans just for women, or men can get into it?
No, it's also for men as well. It's interesting that I even received 2 messages yesterday, and they're from men who are trying to put on weight. Put on weight, but then still control their blood sugar. Because you know, a very interesting thing, an illness like diabetes, for instance, some of the first symptoms is someone just drastically loses a lot of weight.
Exactly.
So if someone wants to put on weight but then still be within their healthy blood sugar levels, they're still able to do that.
Actually, speaking from little examples, I think the messages I have seen of people trying to gain weight has been more men than women.
Yes.
At least in my interaction.
That's true. Because I think for women, we have really been told to lose weight, that it comes automatically.
Exactly.
Like, it just comes automatically. Everyone is trying to lose weight. And then also when you think of men and women, majority of the times as women, we have more estrogen. So because of that, that's a fat storage hormone. So you find we are storing more fat even when we don't intend to. But then there are some women, especially those who have thyroid issues, conditions like cancer, diabetes and stuff, and they would struggle with putting on the weight because there is already an illness there.
Exactly. So men, you are welcome to the platform. You are welcome to try on how to put on weight the healthy way, and how to lose weight the healthy way, because Wellness KE does both. So you are most invited. I want us to talk about the products that you brought. Take us through what they are, how much do they cost, and what are their benefits.
Okay, so here, let me start with this one. This is cinnamon. It's a specific type of cinnamon. It's not the normal type of cinnamon that people cook with. It's known as Ceylon cinnamon. I'll just show you how it looks here. And then Ceylon cinnamon it comes from a specific part of the tree, so it looks like that, and it's meant to help with blood sugar and insulin. So for instance, if you're struggling with putting on weight but you want to balance your blood sugar, this is important. So for instance, after you've had your meal, you would have this type of tea. It's cinnamon tea. You just take 1 stick and boil in water, and then once you've boiled in water, you pour into your cup and drink, because that is supposed supposed to help someone who wants to put on the weight but does not want to spike their blood sugar and be in that insulin resistant state.
Yeah, because
so
also
important.
like we said, anyone that's trying to put on weight is eating a bit more than a person who's trying to lose weight.
Yes.
So you need to keep your insulin in check.
Yes.
So that now you're not on high insulin every time.
Thank you.
Okay.
We
are learning. I told you.
Loving that.
Thank you. We are learning this thing.
Here we have chia seeds.
Yes, chia seeds.
So chia seeds are very important because they help in balancing blood sugar, and they also help with your gut health.
Yeah.
So whenever you are eating food, the gut is where now nutrients are absorbed, right? So this is where now you've eaten the food, so the gut is going to make sure that the nutrients from the food go into your system and they're used up.
Exactly.
So seeds like chia seeds, pumpkin seeds, sesame seeds, sunflower seeds are what we have on the platform. I carried this to just show you guys.
Yes.
And then for chia seeds, it's important for you to mix them with water first. So you'll put them in a bowl, and then you add water and mix, and then it forms a gel. When it forms that gel, you can now use this in a smoothie. Maybe let's say if you were to blend a mango, you can actually have a mango and chia seeds, and that can actually be your snack in the middle of the day if you're trying to put on weight.
Yes. Again, I did not know that.
Really?
Chota hizo chia seeds
Hapana, you actually don't. Let me just show you how they look for anyone maybe who's trying to understand.
Yes.
So this is what chia seeds look like. They look like this.
Yes.
Yeah. And then normally a kijiko kikubwa, a big spoon is enough.
Yeah.
If you put it in water, it actually forms a lot of
gel.
Yes. And then it becomes thick. The longer it stays, the better. Because it actually forms more gel.
Yes.
So you can do this even overnight, and then in the morning,
you
mix
blend
it in
maybe
your
smoothie.
Anything.
Exactly.
Yeah. So that makes it easier.
Now that I know.
Yes.
I did not know that. I hope that you guys are home and learning these things.
And then what we have here is matcha green tea.
Yes. Okay.
So matcha green tea is very important. So matcha green tea normally is good for weight loss, especially because it has a lot of benefits for weight loss.
Yeah.
It targets fat cells so that it can get rid of excess fat cells in the body. But it depends on also how you use it, because apart from it targeting fat cells, it is also important for your general health.
Yes.
So for instance, making sure that you balance your blood sugar, your insulin, you don't have insulin resistance, you have insulin sensitivity, preventing illnesses like diabetes, cancer, and so forth, and also keeping you in good health.
Yes.
So if you were to use this, you can still use the matcha green tea.
Yes.
But what you would do is, when you are using it, you can use it in a smoothie. So instead of you drinking it as a cup of tea, you can actually make the tea, then in a poa kabisa, it becomes cool. Then you can use it in a smoothie. Now, how you use it in a smoothie will determine whether it's for weight loss or weight gain. Yeah. Okay. So now you'll take more nutrient-dense type of foods in the smoothie. You can actually add full-fat yogurt in that smoothie. You can do more bananas, avocado. You can add some peanut butter inside there if you have natural peanut butter, and that's also going to help you in building the calories, right?
So the how you use it is important.
Very important.
Yes.
Because we can both eat the same meal, but then how am I eating and how frequent am I eating, that will determine how I gain the weight.
Exactly. Yeah. I like that because health, if chia seeds are healthy, chia seeds are healthy either way.
Yeah.
So, like, they don't stop being healthy because now you want to lose weight or gain weight. So, the trick you need to master is now, when do I take them?
Yes.
How do I take them? And the frequency of how much I take them.
Yeah. So, even as you're, for everyone who's watching, like you're trying to see how can I start my day and put on weight?
Yes.
Think about it in that way. In the morning, you can start with, if it's healthy brown bread that you can have the healthy brown bread. Do some peanut butter that is natural on top of your bread, because peanut butter is loaded with calories. It's a lot of protein and calories. Then you can boil some eggs, maybe 2 eggs or 3 eggs, and boil, and you can have with that, and a little bit of greens or vegetables is okay. If you have this for breakfast, within 2 to 3 hours, have something else. So maybe let's say you can do the chia seeds, you make the gel, you blend some banana, some avocado, some peanut butter inside there, have that. Then give yourself another 2 to 3 hours. After that, it will be lunchtime. When it's lunchtime, you can have whatever you're going to have, whether you're going to have beans, you're going to have whatever you will choose to have. Make sure it is nutrient dense, and make sure that in that one sitting, you're actually having more calories. And in general, the rule of thumb is is try and do at least about 500 to 1,000 more calories than everyone else.
Yes.
So in a day, a woman can take in about 2,000 calories in a day, and that would be enough. A man would be 2,500. But if you're trying to put on weight, you have to increase the amount of calories so that you can increase your weight. Yeah, because the more calories you put in, make sure that the calories you put in are not the same as the amount of energy you expend. Yes. So be your intake should
more
be
than
more.
your output.
Yes. So because of that, you'll add about 500 calories to 1,000, depending on how much weight you need to gain. And remember, we talked about the body mass index. So now you already know your body mass index. You know how many kilos should I gain. Now that I understand how many kilos should I gain, now I know how many calories do I need to gain this amount of kilos. So how you'll add your calories is making sure that you have smaller portions of meals all throughout. And when you sit down to eat, everything you eat is high in calories. But healthy for you.
So high in healthy calories. Exactly. All right. We have some feedback coming in here. Joshua Muthai is saying YouTube is a whole university.
Yes, that's
please. Would we graduate? Take these courses and graduate from the University of YouTube. Someone by the name Awesome Life, and what can I add to my uji power?
You can add the seeds. You can add, let's say for instance, you're doing uji. You can do some pumpkin seeds. You can do some sesame seeds, sunflower seeds. You can also do peanut butter. You can do, let's say if you have peanuts at home, you can make your peanuts kabisa or buy them when they're already made. Then you put them in a blender. Ukishatoa the cover, the maganda, you put them in a blender, then add a little bit of oil and blend. When you blend, you'll end up with a peanut butter, your own peanut butter. So you put this in a jar. Now every time you have the uji, you add peanut butter into that. And then if you can have things like bananas while you're having your uji and your peanut butter, add it inside there. That's a lot more calories. And then the seeds also, when you're using them, you can use them as a butter. So let's say if you have pumpkin seeds, you have sesame seeds, which is what we offer at Wellness KE. You roast them, because when they are roasted, you are activating more protein and fat. Once you've roasted them, now you blend. You can blend them. You add a little bit of oil. You end up having a butter. And now every time you can add. So let's say unakula oats, you add that. 2 scoops vijiko kubwa mbili. So you can add 2 scoops of that as you eat, and then some bananas on top. For someone who's trying to lose weight, they would do the opposite. They would actually, even if you're having the uji, you would do the opposite. You have something like an apple. It doesn't spike your blood sugar that much. Or more like citrus fruit, vitamin C type of fruit. They don't spike your blood sugar. And then you would avoid too much of the butters. You can do the seeds as they are, but then don't have to roast them. And you don't have to, blend them so that they're a butter. You can actually use them as they are, so that they heal your gut.
So like I said, the how you're taking in your food
important.
is also very important. Wow, thank you. I feel my mind has opened up to very amazing information.
Awesome.
Yes, how much do they
cost? Yes, okay. So for cinnamon, it costs 849 bob.
Yes.
So normally when you use 1 stick, you can use it about 3 to 4 times. So if you were to make,
you're going to have that for a while, because there are quite a number of sticks in there.
So if you have 1 stick, if you're boiling, you don't throw it. You actually boil, you drink, and then now you put this back in your sufuria and add water. Use it about 3 to 4 times before now you can throw
you can
it.
dispose it.
Yes. So this one
seems like a good bargain.
It is. Yes. And then what we have here is the chia seeds. They go for 499. So for the chia seeds, as I mentioned, 1 spoon usually is a lot, because when you put in a bowl, you'll add water. When you add water, you'll
how
actually...
much water are you?
Yes. The price is 499, and the amount of water is about, let's just say, like about 4 tablespoons of water.
So with the chia seeds, not a lot of water.
Not a lot of water, but the more you, it's as if you're making an egg. You're beating an egg. So you'll do that so that it doesn't clump up. And then once you've done that, when you leave it to sit, you'll see it increases in amount. That's why I don't want you to put a lot, because now you'll have a lot.
Yes, you'll have a lot of chia seeds gel. How much water for the cinnamon?
For the cinnamon, a cup and a half. So for 1 stick, you'll do a cup and a half of water and put 1 stick in the sufuria and boil.
Let it boil.
Once you've boiled, you can drink this after a meal. So let's say you've had your big meal, drink the cinnamon cinnamon so that your blood sugar is not high.
Exactly.
Because a big meal also spikes your blood sugar.
All right.
Yeah.
Yes, let's go to our green tea.
The matcha green tea. Matcha green tea is 670 bob.
Yes.
So what you do is we never boil matcha green tea directly on heat. So we boil the water, unazima gas. After that, now you take a teaspoon kijiko kidogo of matcha green tea and add into the sufuria. Then you cover it with a lid. When you cover it, the purpose is for it to steep, like so that it can change color na inachanganyika vizuri.
Yes.
And then once it has done that, now we're not going to drink it as a tea because our aim is weight gain, right?
Yes.
If it's weight loss, you have it as a tea, especially after a workout, it speeds up your metabolism very fast.
Yes.
But if it's weight gain, what you'll do now, you utangoja if it is cool or you'll put it in the fridge. Then now you take a blender, you can blend this into something like a smoothie, but using fruit that is going to be more healthy,
banana,
fats, avocado and things like that. Then usisahau your peanut butter, all of that put inside there, so that you have a big jar or a big glass like this of a smoothie, and you're drinking that now like 2 hours after you had your big meal.
Your meal.
Yes.
All right. That, like I said, the last time, it's for under 1,000 bob. And actually, for some of these combinations, for 1,000 bob, you get 2 of this of the product, and you are going to love it. They are healthy. They are like picked out from the best. I really don't know how I can put this better for you, but picked out from the best. And then also you get guidelines. The one thing I love about Wellness KE, you're not just selling product. So what do you need your chia seeds for? So this is the way you should use them to achieve the goal that you are actually getting. Please give us social media handles because we are out of time. We talk. We can go on and on.
Yes, but you can find us on Instagram. It's well_SKE.
Yes.
On Twitter, it's at KE Wellness. On YouTube also we are Wellness KE. On Facebook, Wellness KE. We are also on TikTok, but on TikTok it's Fatma Sparkle. You'll find me there, Fatma Sparkle 1. You can be able to ask any questions. If you want recipes, let me know. If you want to sign up for the 30-day weight gain plan, please let me know. I always answer every DM so that I can help you.
Yes, I can tell you that from experience. Just go, Kimbia Vale IG. She will take care of you. Yes, you will get your responses in time. You will get your plans in time, and you will get a person to hold your hand as you actually go through the 30 days. So you are guaranteed. So if you're out there and you want to gain weight, whether you're a lady, a man, you want to gain weight but you want to do it the healthy way, Wellness KE or Fatma Sparkle is exactly the place that you should be. So the best that you can do for me right now is to go follow IG, follow Wellness KE, Fuata, and then now start talking to Fatma. See your plans because she has a lot going on. She has, sometimes we will be talking about diseases affecting women. Sometimes we'll be talking about healthy foods to gain weight, then healthy foods to lose weight. There's a lot that you can really gain just by clicking follow. And then of course, go ahead and get the products from Wellness KE because like you have said, don't you can ununue chia seeds kwa mama kwa soko. You don't know where they're from.
They have to be organic.
Yes, they have to be organic. So get all the organic products from Wellness KE and you are going to bring us your testimony because I know that Fatma is really putting in her best to get you to live your best lifestyle. All right? Okay, so Nini Yachani, enjoy some juice. You're going to close up here. Let me hear what today's recipe brought. But thank you so much, Fatma. It's always an honor and a pleasure.
So happy.
And thank you for doing the personal reach out. Sometimes this we don't know we need to have these conversations, but when you bring such things up, we really appreciate the value that you bring to the table.
Thank you so much. And I always tell you I enjoy and you're such a good host. Every time I sit down, I don't feel like I'm having an interview. I feel like we're just chatting.
Thank you.
God bless you.
Thank you so much. Amen. Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, that's where we put a comma to our full stop, actually, to our lounge number 2. Let me enjoy my smoothie. I'm going to catch you in a bit.